Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election. Festus Keyamo, the Minister of State for Labor and Employment and the spokesperson of the Datti Tinubu Presidential Campaign Council, has written a petition to the Directorate of or Department of State Services, DSS, to get Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, and his vice presidential candidate, Datti Baba-Ahmed, arrested for alleged incitement and treasonable felony. Many Nigerians are still in shock about this. But don't forget that Kanayo recently came out of the blues and said that there are plans that are already afoot to arrest Peter Obi. But why does Festus Keyamo want Peter Obi to be arrested and prosecuted alongside his running mate in the 2023 presidential election? That is what we are going to talk about right now, and then analyze it, whether it makes any sense to call for the arrest of Peter Obi and his running mate. Now, what is the issue? Festus Keyamo, in a statement or in a petition he wrote to the DSS, he said that they should arrest Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his running mate Datti Baba-Ahmed over alleged incitement and treasonable felony. Now, you now ask yourself, what did they do that deserve such a treatment by a democratic government? Festus Keyamo accused the two of them of making statements that were capable of causing rebellion in the country. In the petition addressed to the DSS Director General dated March 23, 2023, Keyamo noted that the arrest of the duo became necessary because in a post-election period such as this, there was a need to calm frayed nerves, lower the temperature, and begin the healing process. According to him, while the president-elect Ahmed Tinubu had issued a statement to this effect a few days ago, it appears the presidential and vice presidential candidates of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi and Datti Baba-Ahmed, are not prepared to do this conciliatory part for the sake of peace and national cohesion, whilst exercising their rights to pursue duly laid down constitutional means of addressing their grievances. The minister stated that since Tinubu was declared winner of the poll, Obi and Baba-Ahmed have been hopping from one media house to the other, making incendiary comments and claims about the declaration by the INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission. Now, let us look at the excerpts of the petition written by Festus Keyamo, SAN. The petition reads, these comments and claims are made not just within the boundaries of exercising their rights to freedom of speech and the freedom to air their grievances publicly, but they have since crossed the line to call for the outright truncation of democracy by insisting on the adoption of processes outside the contemplation of our Constitution. In some cases, their previes have even called for the establishment of an interim government. The latest of such are the comment made by Datti Baba-Ahmed on behalf of himself and Mr. Peter Obi on Channels Television on Wednesday, March 22nd, wherein he threatened that if the president-elect was sworn in on May 29, that it will mark the end of democracy or signal the end of democracy. The petition against Obi reminds me, now let us leave it here. Let us not go any further than this. Now, many of us watched that interview of Datti Baba-Ahmed. There was nowhere he called for a revolution. There was nowhere he called for violence. There was no excerpt there where he even said that he is speaking on behalf of Peter Obi. He was saying his own mind as an individual and as the presidential candidate, vice presidential candidate of Labour Party. There was no place where Baba-Ahmed called for unconstitutional change of government. But what he was saying was that this Section 134, Subsection 2 of the Constitution must be respected. And he was insisting that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not meet that particular requirement, because that Section 134, Subsection 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is what he said. What that section says: a candidate for an election to the office of president shall be deemed to have been duly elected where there have been more than two candidates for the election. A, he has the highest number of votes cast. He has the highest number of votes cast. B, he has not less than 1/4 of the votes cast at the election, each of at least 2/3 of all the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. It's an issue that everyone ought to know by now. Anybody who wants to contest for president of Nigeria ought to know it. Since 1999, nobody has ever been sworn in as president without meeting this requirement. That is what he was referring to. And he was saying that anyone that is sworn in without meeting this requirement, the government that is formed thereafter is unconstitutional. That is exactly what he was saying. He was drawing the attention of the president that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not meet this critical requirement. Now, is that enough for someone to write a petition against him and say he should be arrested? If And this particular section has been a subject that is on public domain, being argued severally by different lawyers, those for and those against. But the truth of the matter remains that according to Michael Andwaka, the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice under President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, who should know better, he said that this issue is a settled matter because in 2008, the Supreme Court settled this matter in a case between Yar'Adua and this current president, Muhammad Buhari. And the court reached the conclusion, the Supreme Court reached the conclusion that that and that is that section of the Constitution is conjunctive. Therefore, it's a must. You must get it. You must get FCT, 25%. It's not conditional. You must get it. And that was why Datti Ahmed was saying in those interviews that there is nothing else to debate about it. Because already the Supreme Court has ruled on it. But even Andwaka, who said that that section now, if he comes out today before the Supreme Court, they may change their mind and rule give a different ruling. But that brings to question the precedence in law, because the Supreme Court, by ruling in 2008 that and is conjunctive, it is therefore raise a lot of eyebrow if they come now to change a precedent that have been set. This new set of justices. So that's why Datti Ahmed said it's a settled matter. Now, is it the reason why now he has to be invited by the DSS and detained and prosecuted, the way they put it? In a democracy just like that? Many of us, we know the kind of things Keyamo and co, including Tinubu, were saying about Jonathan. That if people say it today, they will say the people should be charged for treasonable felony. Now, this petition by Festus Keyamo, it reminds me of what Obi wrote on Peter Obi wrote on his Twitter handle recently, where he shared pictures of Nigerians that were brutalized when they came out to vote. And in that pictures that he shared on his wall, Peter Obi lamented that look at what the way Nigerians were treated just because they came out to exercise their franchise, to vote for the candidates of their choice. And that despite this brutality, no one has been arrested, no one has been prosecuted, and nothing like that has ever happened. There's nothing has been done about people that perpetrated this. And he noted also that instead of going after those who did this, the security agents are arresting those who are using the social media to call for the perpetrators to be held accountable. So you can see what they are doing. It's literally trying to use the instrument of the state to silence everybody so that nobody will complain. Now, 2023 election, especially the presidential election, that was not transmitted, that was not transmitted to the airwave, unlike the Senate and House of Reps, epitomizes the height of rigging in this election. And those who are victims are not supposed to complain about it. They said the victims should not complain. They complain, then they will accuse them of treasonable felony, of incitement. They should lick their wounds in silence. This is a case of beating a child and telling him not to cry. That's what it means. You beat a child, you say you must not cry. You stole somebody's mandate, allegedly, and you say the person should not complain. That what is important is after the election, let us cool temper. Let us cool temper. That's what he said, that Tinubu wrote a letter. That Tinubu issued a statement saying that let us cool temper. To cool temper, to relax the mood of the country. Why didn't he write the statement before? He waited until they have used that same violence, intimidation, and win Lagos State for Sangolu. Before now, he came out and now issued a statement and realized that was violence, because already the Lagos State governorship second term was in their pocket. Did he say anything? Did he reprimand MC Oluomo, who was telling Igbos not to come out if they love themselves, not to come out if they are not going to vote for APC? Did he say anything about his spokesperson? His spokesperson, Bayo Nanoka, who used all manner of ethnic slur to describe the Igbos, telling them that this is the last time they should interfere in Lagos politics. And by the last time I checked, none of the candidates in the election, of the governorship election, is of Igbo extraction. They are all Yoruba people. So the Igbos have no right to vote in Lagos. In one country, they cannot vote, but they will pay tax in Lagos, pay revenue in Lagos. Did the Tinubu say anything about that? So you see, it doesn't make any sense as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I think that many reasonable Nigerians will see it the way for what it is. It is just to cow people from talking. But I don't think that can be able to cow Peter Obi and Datti Ahmed. I don't think so. These guys are too serious to be intimidated by the government. Now, when I try to see the reaction, just a few reaction of Nigerians to this matter, I went to Festus Keyamo's Twitter page, where he also pasted or uploaded the petition he wrote to the DSS. And I said, let me look at what some Nigerians are, their mood, whether they approve of it. Majority of those who commented were not buying into that kind of thing that Festus Keyamo want to sell. They disagreed with him. There's one Hulk Hogan who go by the Twitter handle at dash Fred Fred Enka. Fred Enka. Look at what he wrote. He said, "We know your plans, Festus. We know your plans. Be ahead and carry out. Go ahead, sorry." He said, "We know your plans, Festus. Go ahead and carry out your plans to us at Peterobi. I can guarantee you that I will it will blow up in your face if you arrest PO." That's Peterobi. It will be a wrong move on your part. Let me read it again so that you get what the guy was saying. He said, "We know your plans, Festus. Go ahead and carry out your plans to us at P2B. I can guarantee you that it will blow up in your face if you arrest PO. It will be a wrong move on your part." Now, another comment was by Tony, Tony, Tony Ro, who wrote under the handle at Warfat. He said, "God bless you, son. Please also try and do something about Arise Television and at Rufai." That's Rufai of Arise Television, constituting and inciting violence on national TV. Tinubu has won, and Nahim we want. Then you have Dr. Chinasa Obinna, who writes at the handle Dr. Nas Obinna. This is what he wrote. He said, "That's very good, sir. Thank you for this. Those two don't use to hear a word. Please, can the DSS pick them up already? They shouldn't waste time at all. Sam, we want the entire Nigerian youth. We, the entire Nigerian youth, have been waiting for this. Thank you, sir. You are a good man." Then Ogundere A MBA. Ogundere A, who writes under the handle Ogundere 4. He said, "Keyamo, you are APC member, minister in APC government, APC PCC member legal team defending APC in tribunal, but you are writing in your personal capacity. Can you wear a personal capacity toga? All this. Can you wear a personal capacity toga despite all this? You are an interested party, and you should go and you should so disclose." Let me take it again. It's a APC member, minister in the APC government, APC PCC member legal team defending APC in tribunal, but you are writing in your personal capacity. Can you wear a personal capacity toga despite all this? You are an interested party, and you should so disclose. You know what this guy is referring to is the fact that Festus Keyamo is claiming that this petition he wrote is in his personal capacity as a citizen, not as a minister, not as a member of APC, but just as ordinary citizen. That was the condition he wrote this. And if you see the petition, he wrote it with his own chambers, letter-headed paper and all that. And I was asking, is it allowed for a serving minister to be operating his personal business through his personal office in that capacity? Because it means it looks to me as a conflict of interest, or it looks to me as somebody who is doing what he was not supposed to be doing. Because being a minister, you are not supposed to be participating in promotion of your own business, because he wrote that letter or that petition to the DSS using Festus Keyamo chambers. It would have made more sense if it was somebody else that wrote it on his behalf. Because when you look at his signature, it was himself, his sole signature. At least it would have made more sense if it was some other person that signed it on his behalf. So that was why this guy is talking about the fact that he can't extricate himself from being interested in this matter, given his closeness to the APC, given the fact that he's a minister in the APC government. So he cannot come and claim that he's just an ordinary citizen who is writing to complain about something going wrong or something that's a threat to the security of the country. Then there's another interesting one by Ayo at Arumba. He said, and while you are doing that, don't forget to write that of MC Olomo as well. MC Olomo. Yes, because MC Olomo issue has not been addressed. Festus Keyamo didn't say anything about him. Festus Keyamo didn't say anything about that. MC Olomo that was threatening the people of Igbo extraction in Lagos. Nothing was done to him. At least no Nigerians have not heard anything in terms of whether he was arrested or being prosecuted to explain. In fact, what we had when the police were challenged to do something about MC Olomo, they said that he was only joking. He didn't mean it. It was just a joke. But everybody saw him, how mean-spirited he was when he was telling Igbos not to come out. They know that they are not going to vote for APC. Then there's this post by Dr. Jeffrey Gotterman, who writes under the handle Jeffrey Gotterman. This is what he told Festus Keyamo. He said, your petition is complete nonsense. You are a complete mugu at FK Keyamo. Peter Obi and Datti Baba-Ahmed have been telling only the truth. I look forward to the discovery process to address your idiotic claims. So these are a few of the reaction of Nigerians and any other person that commented about what Festus Keyamo did. And they wrote it under his page or his wall, so that he will see it and see how angry they were about what he was doing. But at the end of the day, the truth is that you cannot beat a child and say you should not cry. You cannot leak somebody's election and tell him that he should not complain. You cannot violate a section of the Constitution and say that people should not complain about it. They should just take it lying low. No, it doesn't work that way in a democracy. Democracy is a place where people have freedom of expression. If you don't like what Datti Ahmed said, you come up with your counter view, why your view is superior to his own, why your position, your argument is better than his own. That is how it works in a democracy. It is not to threaten people with security agencies, because that is not the way it works. What he should have done is to have gone to court himself, because he's a lawyer. But he is outsourcing the matter to the DSS so that they will go and bundle Peter Obi and Datti Ahmed and lock them up. Is that the solution to this problem? The problem of section 134, subsection 2B, that actually Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not meet its requirement. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video. Like it, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for other people.